Say it. Local Barnes. Say it. Local Barnes.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the NoDunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, March 2nd. We're here in the Classic Factory. I'm J.E. Stache, and alongside me, as always, we got Tass Mellis.
Oh, looking good, man.
What's up,
It's a
Tass?
new look.
Oh, it is. We got Top Shot Hot Boy over there. That's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey,
yo.
International Man of Mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis. Finally, making the magic happen. Super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share the show, and email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Yes, I'm paying off my final pick'em loss with a sweet, sweet stash.
Not much of a punishment. You're looking slick,
You like it?
suave and smooth.
Yeah, I don't like seeing tweets saying, this is better than your beard.
No.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bushy mustache, that's for sure. I do struggle when it comes to the rest of the beard. It honestly feels very strange. I sort of forgotten how long I've had that, I guess, shitty beard in the eyes of many. It's been a couple of years. But it was like, this morning, it was like, one of my favorite things to do is to take like a power washer to like a driveway.
Oh, I love the good.
Sort of similar.
Oh, man, I was power washing just last night. That's a true story. I was power washing my like outside garbage bin and my recycle bin. That's
fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You want another true story? Laura keeps asking me, hey, you need to borrow Skeets' power washer. Let's loop back after the show to figure something out here.
All right. Well, anyway, this is my final pick'em payoff here. I'm all caught up now.
Nice.
I know this is a simple one, sure. I think the payoff really starts when I go home later today and I take this off. And then I'm just down to babyface Skeets again.
But are you going to do that now?
Does it
With
feel-
great
You want me to keep
feedback?
this?
Yeah.
There was some decisions made this morning. I'm like, where am I going with like the little handlebar
Yeah.
part? You know, how
Yeah.
low do I keep
The
it?
vertical
Because
part.
last time I did this as a joke, like years ago, and I never like did it on the air. I sort of did more like just a
Right.
straight line across. But I thought, let's give it a little something to hold on to, eh? So yeah, there it is. But it feels good. A Lannister always pays his debts, and now Skeets, he's always paid his debts.
Finally.
Get it off my back. I can finally sleep at night. But yeah, we do have something fun in store along with the mustache. I did some crowdsourcing yesterday on Twitter. We're going to count down the top 10 greatest mustaches in NBA history on today's show. It was a difficult task.
A lot of good ones.
There are so many. And yeah, we will do What About This Stash?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I got a list of like 50 people,
Nice.
but we'll do that later in the show. But let's get to the games here. Not the greatest night, I'd say, in the association. We'll start with the Mavericks blowing a big lead, but rallying then to hold off the Lakers. 109-104. Luka sort of outdueled LeBron here.
Outdueled him. Luka just looked at LeBron and just said, I'm just going to pick on you and I'm going to score on you or I'm going to throw an assist. It was actually pretty funny to see the switch coming and Luka was like, give me LeBron, please. And he went down and he scored. LeBron, moving his feet, getting there. But Luka was just in such incredible control there, closing the game out, which was really impressive coming off the back of what they did in Golden State just a few nights earlier. Similar sort of game there. Jason Kidd didn't panic, but he did bring him back a little bit earlier in this game because the Lakers were just in control. They had a 6-point lead in that fourth. And then their offense went cold and Luka took over. And a very, very impressive victory here for the Mavericks. Now, a couple of things to take out of this one. Spencer Dinwiddie, again, I thought throughout this game was just very, very good. He's given them that second ball handler, that guy who can create. He had 9 assists last night.
That's a man who's had a mustache before.
Yeah, a mustache
dabbles with it.
and an egg salute there with me and Tassie in Las Vegas. He's come a long way. But I just thought that considering, again, going back to the trade, it was like we're just making a trade here and it's turned out really, really well here for the Mavericks. This has given them someone who they can trust and rely on to at least take some possessions where Luka doesn't have to do it all. Jalen Brunson was also good there, I thought, last night. And that whole second unit for Dallas actually, provided good support because they were up 21. This game looked like it was well and truly in control, and the Mavs gave it all back. LeBron, he had a few, I'll say, home run threes in the third quarter there, the high risk, high return, but he knocked them in, got them the lead, and it sort of invigorated the team there. It looked like, okay, this might be one of those miraculous LeBron performances we don't see as many of these days, but they got back into it. And then in that fourth quarter, especially in the clutch there or down the stretch, I thought they looked like the last run of a pickup run game. So, when everyone's just
Yeah.
kind of like, this game's about 6 minutes too long. We shouldn't have played this last pickup.
Yeah, we had 10 minutes left on our gym time, and we decided to get one more in. But we
Two
totally
guys
shouldn't have.
left. You got to play 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Guaranteed turnovers.
There was a guy there with his shoes off. He's like, "Come, we just need one more." He's like, "I gotta go."
I got my shoes off. Yeah.
Come on. And then they're just like, who cares? We're just throwing up anything. They had nothing offensively going there. I thought the Mavericks defense was good enough, but it didn't have to be all that good because the Lakers kind of shot themselves in the foot there. Westbrook had a nice dunk. I don't understand why Westbrook doesn't do things like that more often in the game where he just goes straight at the rim. I mean, his shot is just awful.
5 of 17 in this one, 0 for 4 for distance.
And they were bricks. But when
They were.
when Westbrook, like at this stage of his career, he's got to understand this shot just is not working for him. Certainly right now. Go at the rim, hard, attack. You might get fouled. I know he's not a great free throw shooter these days, but at least you're getting higher percentage looks. That's just not what he's doing right now. So Carmelo, he had 20 points, fine. But
He's their second best player right now. That's
Melo?
a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And
basically, I mean, the Westbrook thing, he should drive, but they're playing him below the free throw line. Like Reggie Bullock is checking him. He's like, okay, I'll just wait for you. I know what you're going to do. You're not making a three. So.
And they're not worried about the other Laker shooters. So they can
Not
have
at all.
two guys under the hoop, and Westbrook is getting close to that rim and looking at two guys, and he just can't go over two guys. That's hard work.
You're right. I just think it's still better than him shooting. Because that right now is almost
Also true.
It's basically a turnover for the Lakers when he shoots because no one's expecting it to go in or for him to get hot. And if he is shooting a lot, that's great for the other team. I think he finished 5 for 17. So same sort of problems here for the Lakers. They look okay at times, but honestly, they just look like if they make the play-in tournament, which they could still fall into it there, no one should fear the Lakers at all, even if Anthony Davis comes back, because they've got so many other problems.
Yeah, the comments from the Lakers after this one are pretty amazing. Like LeBron, he's saying, I'm not shutting it down. I'm not going anywhere, Trey. Okay, I'm going to keep playing until I'm 12 feet under. I'll be competing. And then Westbrook. I mean, you see Westbrook comments. He's basically like agreeing with you. He's like, yeah, I'm garbage right now. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, I'm bad.
I got to do better.
I got to do better. Vogel saying the things he was saying. You say, at least we competed in this one after, of course, getting embarrassed by the Pelicans, booed by their home crowd. But yeah, what do you think? And I guess my other question is, if the Lakers are in the play-in tournament, should LeBron be allowed to play? I mean, he said the play-in tournament was stupid.
Yeah, it depends on the year. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Okay.
But also Westbrook said, I think we're capable of playing against anybody in the league, staying ultra confident, and I love that about Westbrook and LeBron. He said, until I'm 12 feet under, I can beat anybody. And I love this irrational confidence because, they were up 6 points, 7:30 left, and then their offense definitely fell apart. But let's just imagine Anthony Davis out there on the floor because
that's what you got to do.
He's a very good basketball player, and so he is going to deter other guys from going in. Like Luka, if he is back there, it would be huge. And I think still, they're going to be in the play-in tournament. They're going to get there, and they are going to be a worrisome bunch. Just like you just remind me, Egg Salute, that place in Las Vegas to get a great egg sandwich. We saw good. Spencer Dinwiddie in line back when he was a Summer League player. Combined with a mustache, one of the worst things about having a mustache is having remnants on your stash. Egg, one of the worst things to have remnants of anywhere. It's just disgusting. The odor. I could just imagine having a great egg sandwich at Egg Salute and just having yolk in my stash. No, not an ad. One of the worst things. It's just one of that odor. If I have a
How long
water
are you leaving it though? Like
but it just smell like egg sticks around.
He has a very sensitive nose, small throat, but sensitive nose.
egg is one of those smells. If I have a egg in the morning and I have a water bottle that I use all day long, and I drink from that water bottle, there may be egg on that water bottle. That smell lingers all day long. It is gross. Egg smell, very bad.
Egg smell's one of the worst.
With the Lakers, though, would you bet on them? Okay, AD coming back, hypothetically. Are you betting on them winning 2 games in this play-in tournament, if that's where they are, and what would they have to do to then get into the playoffs? Right now?
Well, it depends on who they're playing right now. No, obviously things are extremely bleak, but I would say they have the best chance of any of those teams. I mean, the Wolves right now are in the play-in tournament, and they are looking very, very solid. But
And they've also played the Lakers really well this season, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing Westbrook said. We can play with the best teams, but we also lose to the worst teams. They do. I have no confidence in the Lakers. Maybe they should rename the play-in tournament after LeBron, since he's going to be there for the second year and he's going to be one of the all-time greats. He probably still hates the play-in tournament because he wants this season to be over. He was getting roasted by Luka Doncic in the fourth quarter last night, and obviously he was playing center for the Lakers. They didn't even have a center out there in the fourth quarter. I thought that was super weird. After he was just going by LeBron every single time, and then there's no deterrent at the rim. The Lakers could win the play-in tournament, but more than likely, I feel like they would probably be in the 8th seed. I think I would take the Timberwolves over the Lakers right now, and there's no guarantee Anthony Davis will be back or that he'll survive a play-in tournament. So I think the season is over for the Lakers, to be quite honest.
Yeah, and I think even Davis, when he was playing his best ball, it was really only on the offensive end. I don't think defensively he was having the same impact. I remember watching those games and just thinking, like, nobody's afraid of going into the paint because he's not terrifying people from going in there. So even when he comes back, he'll certainly give their offense a bit of a boost, but defensively they've got way more problems.
And this is a big win here for the Mavericks. They're 37-25. They're in the 5th seed, and they have, like, the Nuggets are right on their heels. The Wolves are not all that far behind them. Like you said, they are technically in the play-in right now, but only a couple of games back. So every one of these victories is huge as we hit the home stretch here. These are massive games in terms of seeding. And Dallas you have Luka, you're always going to give yourself a chance in a playoff series. I don't know if you have them going far, and it all depend on who they play and matchups, and how do they match up against the Jazz? Is that good? They're going to go small against Gobert and play him off. Tons of questions, and because you don't know who they're going to play. But I mean, they're going to be a tough out for anybody, I think.
And it sure feels like a second round appearance would be their best case scenario this season, right? I think
they still haven't gotten there with Luka, right?
No, that's true. They have not won a playoff series. They've had some great shows against the Clippers in the past, but by trading Kristaps Porzingis, it does reduce the ceiling on this team a little bit. Even though Spencer Dinwiddie has played really well and Davis Bertans has played a lot better than he did with the Wizards, one series win would be very good for them. And I know they feel really good. I'm sure Luka feels really good because he just celebrated his 23rd birthday. As Tim Cato reported on The Athletic, I thought was very funny. Usually the coach is the first person from a team to come out and do his press conference. In this scenario, in Los Angeles, it was Luka because, as Tim Cato pointed out, his Slovenian friends were in town to celebrate his 23rd birthday. He had places to be.
Nice.
Gotta get out of there. I'll do press first there, coach. Get out of here. And Luka doesn't really talk too long, so I'm sure he was partying very soon after, having some beef pies or whatever Slovenian food has. I mean, I imagine there's a lot of beef in the Slovenian diet.
I don't know.
I know my Serb friends have it, so lots of beef
How
pies.
about Luka's dunk?
Yeah.
The back of Dwight. You do not see that from Luka.
Dunk
of his career, I would have to assume.
I was trying to think of that. You think it is?
Yeah.
I don't remember another one.
Yeah.
That's the highest he's ever gotten.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe because he propelled himself off Dwight's shoulders,
bit,
but that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
definitely
take
the
it.
best dunk.
Riding up on Dwight, that was cool, especially because he went down with it looked like he'd hurt his back on the previous possessions, which call an ambulance, but for you. Yeah. Shout out to Stephen LeBron for that one. Very funny though, because he really rode Dwight up there to throw it down. So yeah, put it number one in as far as I'm concerned.
All right, let's move on to our next game here. We had Tatum scoring 33 to help the Celtics push past the Hawks 107-98. Now, this game was crazy because of the injuries happening in it. Jaylen Brown, he goes down in a heap there on a drive early in the first quarter. Right ankle sprain, did not return to the game. They sound like it's not too serious. There's some swelling there, Lee, with the ankle and all that, but he didn't return, so that was an opening for the Hawks. But then Trae Young, he suffered a left ankle sprain. He landed on Marcus Smart's foot late in the first quarter. He goes to the Atlanta locker room. He does return, though. He plays the rest of the game. Okay, he says it was like stiffening up on him a little bit, so maybe that was an issue because he didn't have a great second half. And then Okongwu caught an accidental elbow in the second quarter. That sent him to the league's concussion protocol, so he was out. So this was just a wild game. But Boston, after giving up a ton of points there in the first half, Lee, got back to what's winning them a bunch of games. That's defense. They started that second half with a 51-23 run, turned a double-digit deficit into a double-digit lead, sort of just like that. And another quality win here. And then some interesting comments from Bogdanovich, after this game. He's like, they lose one of their best guys. We should be winning this game. Yeah. So it is a bad loss for them as they're trying to get into the play-ins.
Yeah, they are. And the Hawks offense, again, whether that's a credit to the Celtics defense, which it probably mostly is, the Hawks offense basically was Trae Young and Bogdanovich just like, all right, just if you can get hot, and shoot a deep three, that's probably our best offense right now, especially in that third quarter when the Celtics made the run. And that's a question here for Nate McMillan. He has to get someone else sort of involved, some other sort of movement there, because I felt that Trey was coming down. I sort of Trap was coming at times, and he was kind of like, there's not much here to bail me out. And so, again, Boggy had a pretty good game there with 25 points, but it just sort of felt like the Hawks had to work so hard to get any sort of offense going when the Celtics put the clamps on. Derek White, again, very good off the bench for them. So Celtics have strung together a very, very nice little run here, going back pre-All-Star game where they won 9 out of 10.
The defense for the Celtics is like next level right now. It's tough to score on them when they lock in, and they weren't there in the first half, and then they got sort of a speaking to there from coach, and they came out and were much better in the second half.
Yeah, and that's a bad recipe for a Hawks team that's just so inconsistent. They had a great win against the Raps, a 27-point blowout, and they just cannot follow up wins. And their offense has not been a problem this season, but Bogdan Bogdanovic, who had a really great game off the bench, pointed out in the second half where they had a 33-point second half, against the great Celtics defense, but 33 points with Trae Young back there shouldn't happen. And Bogdanovic pointed out, hey, we had DeAndre Hunter out there who had a bad game, but he's got Grant Williams on him. No disrespect to Grant Williams, but DeAndre Hunter should be able to beat him. So Bogdanovic doing some coaching there post-game, talking about that. It's an effort thing, I think, with the Hawks night in, night out. It's such a strange team. They've had 2 7-game winning streaks this season, but they remain sub 500 because they just can't be consistent. Up 14 at the half, they've got to win this game. Now, John Collins is out, but the effort that Clint Capella talked about a little bit earlier just ain't there. And they're not cohesive for some strange reason. They can't get it together. I'm sure they thought that maybe they would make a trade deadline move after trading Cam Reddish for a first-round pick. That didn't happen. The locker room just ain't together. And it's unfortunate because they've got a lot of talent there. I wonder what happens here in these last 20 games. Like they could be a threat for any team, but at the same time, if you can't play defense, then you're not a threat.
I thought they were really missing. Okongwu going out was big, and I thought the John Collins, him being out with an injury was huge. I thought the Celtics completely out-physicaled the Hawks in the second half of this game. In the first half, the Hawks were shooting layups. They were like blowing by the Celtics on drives, and like you said, Udoka said, we need to get more physical. That's kind of been the secret for the Celtics, especially since they can run 2 solid big guy defenders out there in Horford and Williams. So they came out and they really just forced the Hawks to settle for stuff. I thought Trae Young said his ankle stiffened up, and you could kind of tell at halftime. It seemed to me like he was just settling for jumpers rather than trying to be in the lane, and that's kind of how things really work best for the Hawks, when he can get in the lane, find a shooter here and there. But it was, I don't know, the Celtics just completely took the Hawks out of the game. Bogdanovic was playing hard. He was getting in the lane in the second half, kept him close a little bit there, but Derek White was too good. 4 for 4 and 9 points in the final 3:55 of the third quarter. He was dancing on him out there, and he was really targeting Trae Young defensively as well. So Trae wasn't moving really well offensively, which hurt the Hawks offensively, and then he was giving it back even more so on the other end of the court. I don't know. Hawks just, they're inconsistent because they give zero effort on defense, and honestly, it starts with the guy guarding the ball.
I hope this Jaylen Brown ankle injury isn't too serious, and it is just he sprained it, and maybe he misses a couple of games, because they have a massive game on Thursday night. Celtics Grizzlies.
Oh yeah,
would be you want those teams at full strength. And I don't know if Jalen's going to be playing in it, but at least they do have Derek White there. Will they continue to bring him off the bench? That's a big question. I think they sort of will. Maybe Nesmith sort of gets the starting nod there. Maybe takes over for Jaylen Brown if he misses that game. But yeah, 18-5 for White. He pushes the pace. He's got that little floater game, and obviously the defense. Like, just an incredible addition to an already good defensive squad when everybody's there. I can't believe Horford is still playing at this level.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Robert Williams is an incredible center that he's available. He's capable at switching because he can make up a lot of ground even if he gets beat with the little sort of come from behind blocks. Smart's incredible. Like, they're damn good.
Yeah, they've got some more depth with Derek White. I think that really helps Horford not having to play as much, even though they're not playing the same position. Horford doesn't have to play 35 minutes a game. They just don't have to rely on him as much because Derek White comes out and is so good. But seeing him hit floater after floater, he basically hit 3 floaters in a row in the fourth quarter there for 6 straight points. That's just a Hawks D that doesn't go ahead. Just shoot what you want to shoot. That was hard to watch. It was also hard to watch that Jaylen Brown injury. A rare ankle injury where a guy is not standing when he hurts it. He was kind of like propelling himself forward because he was falling forward, and it got out from behind him. It just was a strange one.
I didn't think it was his ankle at first.
So
that was like, oh God. Yeah.
Look knee or something like that, totally. But yeah, that was an odd ankle injury, odd replay to watch that thing. But yeah, as long as he's all right, this team it's got enough depth now. They didn't trade Marcus Smart. Seems like us dummies here thought
he was good.
Maybe you should move on from Marcus Smart. He's their point guard, and now they got a great rotation.
Really good over the last couple months, like in terms of like assist to turnover ratio. He's like, he's on his like good Smart stretch where he's not taking a ton of threes. I think, like, I don't have it in front of me, but he's hitting like 37%, 38% from the. That's fine.
Yep.
That's
totally.
great.
Shooting a 44, 45 from the floor, something like that. Again, over the last couple months, he's been awesome for them. So, yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, do they move him? Do they move off him? And instead, they just added, not a Smart like guy. Derek White's a different player, but at least defensively guard and that can score is awesome. Towns, 39 points as the Wolves. Surge past the Warriors, 129-114. Trey, get us started on this one.
Two big takeaways from this one. We talked about all NBA centers a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like it just came up quite a few times, both talking about current all NBA centers and like past all NBA centers. Cat's coming for the third team center right now.
Yep.
Dominant game for Towns, 39 points on 14 of 22 field goal shooting, 9 rebounds, 3 threes. That's cool. But this guy planted his ass on the block and went to work. 11 buckets in the lane, all within 9 feet. Also took 11 free throws, which is kind of a function of being in the lane all the time.
Yep.
No Anthony Edwards in this one, which changes the way Karl-Anthony Towns plays. No doubt about it. When Edwards is playing, Towns has to space out more, just to give more space in there for Edwards to be driving to the hoop. But I love watching a game where he's like interested in scoring in the post. He was the biggest guy on the court by far, and I feel like he was watching the right gorilla fight videos pre-game to be completely like invested and actually dominating. Post-game, D'Angelo Russell said, feed him, feed him, feed him. If you run out of food, feed him the fork.
Ugh.
Bars. As for all NBA, he's up to 25 points per game, almost 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 52% from the floor, 40% from 3, 82 at the line. It's going to come down to him and Gobert for third team center, unless there's somehow Jokic and Embiid both end up on the first team. You slide one of them into the power forward slot. I don't know. We got a lot of good big guys right now. I'm loving it. Second big takeaway, it's related to the first one. The Warriors are missing Draymond Green big time. He hasn't played since January 9th. Somehow the Warriors still number 1 in defense. That doesn't make sense to me. In that time, since January 9th, Warriors are 7th best in the league. That's fine. Not bad. They dropped off from first when Draymond was healthy, but since February 1st, 17th in the league, indistinguishable from the Hawks, Kings, Wizards. Terrible defensive teams, and you can see the effects of D'Angelo Russell putting the ball on the floor and deciding to get in the lane all the time when he's more of a mid-range sort of player, or Towns beasting inside. Timberwolves scored 54 points in the paint, only 42 for the Warriors, but almost worse to me is the effect that missing Draymond has on the Warriors' offense. They're 14th in the league in efficiency since Draymond last played, which is Heat and Raptors territory. And those are teams that, like, we're playing great defense and we just need a little bit of offense.
Right.
The defense isn't good enough right now for the Warriors to survive with this little bit of offense. It's just such an effort for them to score because Steph Curry has to be the point guard, which he's doing a solid job. He's passing the ball quite a bit here, but he's also got to be the best scorer out there. 34 points last night for Steph Curry. That's nice. Only 4 assists because the Warriors were so cold from 3. They went 13 of 45 for a grand total of 29%. Draymond is the connective tissue on both sides of the court. You can see Wiggins is really struggling.
It doesn't look like an all-star as much.
Not even close. When he had to get elevated to number 2, he's looked like number 2. Not to mention Draymond gets Steph easy buckets. He pushes the pace in transition. Warriors right now are not getting enough from their young guys. They've kind of been trying to play 2 paths here, right? Contend for the title and then have the Kawhi Leonard, San Antonio Spurs. Here's our future guys. They're not getting enough from Kuminga, Moody. Obviously, Wiseman hasn't played this year, so they're looking a lot like last year's Warriors, who were very bad.
Yeah, and they missed Draymond Green just kicking everybody's ass as well. Like, Wiggins has had a bad couple games here. He wouldn't be taking those mid-rangers if Draymond Green is on the floor as the coach. Right. He really wouldn't be. And Jordan Poole wouldn't be half-assing it on defense the way he is as well. And I don't know if it's a bit of a problem in the Warriors locker room, but Steve Kerr was asked post-game, do you want Draymond Green around the team more instead of him rehabbing? He said, yes, I want him. And he is taking a flight to Dallas to join the team today, to be around the team a little more. They need him, just to his vocal leadership. We've talked about him in the past, and the Warriors keep talking about him as their lifeblood, their energy, their heartbeat. And it's very apparent that they need him just to help out coach, offense and defense, but also, yeah, as a big. I mean, they didn't go get a backup center, and in this instance here against Karl-Anthony Towns, who's playing the best ball of his career, an All-NBA center, it sure looks like they had no one to stop him. Kevon Looney went out of the game, 4:30 left in the first quarter. They're winning with Looney out there because he's played really well. And then Towns just went to work on Jonathan Kuminga, who's 5 inches shorter. I mean,
small.
he's everybody. So Towns just he just absolutely went to work. Looney was a +2 in this game. They have one center on this team, and that's Kevon Looney. And obviously, they made a decision, not to move on from somebody at the bottom of their depth chart like Nemanja Bjelica or somebody to go get a backup big because they thought they had Draymond Green, and that makes sense. But in this game, with D'Angelo Russell having a bit of a revenge game against the Warriors who traded him, and not to isolate this game, he's just been playing really well defensively and offensively. So the Wolves, they look like the best team in the play-in tournament.
Do we feel comfortable, jumping on the Wolves bandwagon? Because every time we get excited about Minnesota, something goes wrong.
It's got a rickety wheel on that bandwagon every now and
Right.
again. But a game like this, though, is where you want to see Towns go, man, who is going to stop me tonight? And he didn't settle. He went downhill. He got into the rim. There's some really good plays of him going up, finishing with his left hand, and just looking at Kuminga or Looney and just saying, these guys can't stop me. Draymond Green's a completely different story, but even with the evolution of his game, he can step back. He shouldn't fear like anyone out there when he's this talented and this good. So the Timberwolves, the critic I've had of them in the past, not being ruthless, and they've gone out and made sure they get a win against no Klay Thompson as well, so that also affects their offense certainly. But the Wolves have to take that step up, and they sometimes seem to be. Was it Taurean
Prince last night doing the old boop to was it Jordan Poole? Did you guys see that? It was a little pissed off. It was earlier in the game. They got sort of caught up, and there was some pushing going on some sort of like offensive rebound, and then they got close enough, and Prince just reached out and bopped him in the head. Got a tech for it. The ref was between them.
Their bench is producing for them though right now. Minnesota. They're getting good production out of Prince, McLaughlin, Beasley.
Every 3 out of 4 games he hits like 4, 5, or 6 threes, and then he has a stinker, and then he just sets it all over again and has another run. He's been on fire from distance. Nas Reed has played really well at backup position, so at the center position. So, I believe in the Wolves enough to be like, well, they're in the playoffs. Nothing's gonna they're not falling out of that at this point.
No.
Though I guess things could go wrong in a play-in situation if you got to win. But again, they'd have to win one of 2.
So the play-in tournament is the playoffs?
Well, for them it is.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, yes.
Yes. I guess if they're going to finish in that top part of the play-in tournament bracket, 7th or 8th, which means they can lose a game and still just win one more game and then enter the real playoffs. Right. Just got to go 1-1, and that's I mean, right now it would be Wolves Clippers in that first game. Even if they lose that, which they shouldn't lose that, they would play the winner of the Lakers Pelicans, and that's what I want to see. Wolves Lakers. Oh, okay. Exciting stuff.
Finally, the other 3 games from last night, the Raptors rallied for a second straight win over the struggling Nuggets. The Wizards beat the Pistons for their 14th straight time at home, 116-113. And Zubac scored 22 points to help the Clippers beat the Rockets, 113-100. The Clippers, there's a team.
That's incredible.
We just forget as a team, I think, but they're there, and they're in this play-in thing here in the West.
They are there.
Well, what do you think, those 3?
The fact that they're 2 games above 500 is a testament to Ty Lue and keeping those guys going. Mm-hmm. And Paul George could be maybe back. More chance. Yeah, really. That one's a mystery. That one they've kept under wraps. Even the Kawhi Leonard scenario, they have 2 superstars that are not playing with them. Leonard doesn't seem like he's coming back, but Paul George could join them for a play-in tournament fun. But anyways, let's go to the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference, because I think we all sort of wrote off the Washington Wizards from this. We just forgot about them.
I did.
They're only 1 game back. And they're winning these games with this sort of veteran-laden team that's just like, let's play a journeyman here, play a journeyman there, and
brought Satoransky back.
They pick up a guy like Tomas Satoransky that would be picked up for a backup or third point guard on a really good team looking to make the playoffs. So I guess that's what they're trying to do. They're starting Neto and KCP in the backcourt, and then Kuz, Kispert, and Satoransky. Beal and Porzingis are on this roster. They're not playing. Porzingis hasn't played. But anyways, who knows if they're going to make it. But I just want to point out Rui Hachimura, third-year player. banging home some threes. He's 15 of his last 20 from three-point land. 75%. Nice. Is this just a little stint here? He's always been a mid-range type of guy, but he's shooting 52% from three this year. That's good, but it's only on 2 threes a game. But he's taken more threes. 30% of his shots are threes this year, only 20% last year. So that's a good
sign.
A good sign of growth here for a third-year player. Josh Robbins of the Athletic pointing that out. And you could see Rui is comfortable not taking dumb shots. I don't know what this team is. If Beal and Porzingis are out there, Rui would be a nice complementary player. It's interesting there. Anyways, let's get to some real play-in tournament teams. The Raptors and the Nets. My man Malachi Flynn flying for the Toronto Raptors. He was benched a lot. He was deep on the depth chart, but Fred VanVleet out. He has been sort of a game manager. He's kind of like what Gabe Vincent is doing in Miami. He used to be a scorer, man. He used to come in and let her rip, but you just got to get everybody involved. He played 41 minutes in this game. He played, 33 the night before, so combined 85 minutes, 1 turnover. Don't turn that thing over. He's doing great. Only 11 shots each night. And, some nice moves as well. You got LaMarcus Aldridge in the mixer there late. Finished the game strong because Gary Trent Jr. was just hitting free throws. That's all he had to do. And he had a couple shots. So the Brooklyn Nets got called for 2 defensive 3 seconds in the key calls in the last 3 minutes of a game. Gave him 2 free throws, 2 free points in a 1-possession game. It ended up being a 1-possession game at the end there. And some bad defense by the Nets, who don't have a bunch of their guys because Toronto's got similar rules to New York. Kyrie Irving can't play. KD maybe back soon. Ben Simmons maybe back soon. But some disconnect on defense when these guys are playing zone. And some bad, like the Barnes pass put on the NBA Twitter account is a great pass to Thaddeus Young underneath. I mean, you shouldn't be able to pass across the key and with 2 minutes left in the game, should you? I don't think so. Some zone farts there for the Brooklyn Nets. So just this Nets team, it's not fun to watch them when they're this Jekyll and Hyde thing. But hey, I'm happy for my man Malachi.
How about superfan Nav Bhatia and Raptors fans back in attendance too? First time all season. Yeah. Obviously with them changing some of the rules there with COVID.
Not all season though.
Well, they haven't had that many people in the
arena
at all.
Right.
They had like 500 people was the max they had at one point. Then it was back to just Masai Ujiri sitting up there. But
They had more than that though.
When?
November, didn't they?
Did they?
I think so.
Oh. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they were.
They've had a lot of changes.
I don't remember having a full house there. But
not a full house, but I think they had more than the 500.
There was an actual crowd there last night.
Yes, there was. And it was great. And they talked about that on the broadcast. It just helps because this was a bit of a tough watch, I thought, this one. It was one of those games that was like, it's a bit of a grind. Neither team really wanted to play it again. They just played each other. They're just like, all right.
This is the final run out of pickup.
Yeah. And then Swattie Barnes had a big block there on Seth Curry. Swattie Barnes.
Swattie Barnes. That's actually good.
That's
pretty funny to say.
And I did like Gary Trent Jr. hunting those free throws at the end. He finished 9 for 9, hit 6 in the last 31 seconds there because he's like, I'm going to the free throw line. I've been practicing. Watch me knock him down. Game was decided by a point, although it was a heave there from James Johnson at the end that was, went in, sure. But I love seeing that from Gary Trent on those inbounds. He's like, give me the ball. And now he's like, foul me. I'm going to the line. Bang. Knock him in.
Nick Nurse also said on Tuesday, OG Anunoby won't need surgery to repair the fractured right ring finger that sidelined him for the past couple of games. It sounds like he'll be fully healed in about 2 weeks. So good news. He's not going under surgery and will miss more time.
Nick Nurse also said he was surprised by the Raptors fans booing Goran Dragic.
Why?
I don't know why.
Come on.
They booed loud. That's what the fans were in there for.
Toronto fans, they were like, wow, we haven't booed like this since the Vince Carter days. We have barely been allowed to be in our arena.
I think it was Stephen LeBron had that tweet. The 3 biggest villains in Raptors history is Vince,
Paul Pierce.
That's right, and then Goran Dragic.
And Goran was playing well. He was reveling in it for a little stretch there at least. But good win there from the Raps to pull it out in the end. I'm with you. Ugly. Not a fun game.
They're down 9 or 10 going into the fourth. And they won on free throws against his own defense. They got called for defense of 3 seconds in the key. Cool game.
Very cool game. All right, we're going to take our first break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to count down the top 10 mustaches in NBA history. We'll be right back.
There was some spring cleaning in the Mellis household this weekend. First, Danielle and I lifted up our couch, did some cleaning underneath it. Danielle was stronger than me for sure this weekend. I wasn't feeling it, but we got it done. Then we threw out our kitchen sponge. Got to change that every once in a while.
Yep.
And then I got rid of some socks. God, it felt good.
Oh, yeah.
All the cheapies out. What remained? Some NBA socks, some unique ones, and a lot of Stance socks for sure. Stance socks are frickin' quality. Quality designs, quality comfort, and I feel like quality when I slip them on the Tootsies. I'm going to be so happy with my decision in the coming weeks. Open up that drawer, pull out some Stance, put them on the feet. Yes! No more of those crap ones. I didn't go this far with my spring cleaning, but Stance has also expanded to the entire wardrobe. Check out Stance's super soft line of sweatpants, joggers, shirts, hoodies, hats, and more, now available in a full range of fits, prints, fabrics, and fun. Fits, prints, fabrics, and fun. That's fun
Fits,
to say.
prints,
fabrics, and fun. Fits, prints, fabrics,
Here, drop
fun.
a beat to that.
Fits, prints, fabrics, and fun.
We got the
fits,
the prints, the fabrics, the fun.
the fits, the prints, the fabrics, the fun. Stance's philosophy is that you should never have to sacrifice your own individual style for the sake of comfort. And now, you don't have to. Whether you're relaxing around the house, working out at the gym, or running all over town, Stance delivers its signature softness and creativity in a full line of active apparel styles from toe to head. Stance has got you covered. Head on over to stance.com and get 15% off your first purchase. Use promo code NoDunks at checkout to apply and enjoy the color and comfort of a life less ordinary with Stance. Stitch different.
You know, every morning we come into the Classic Factory, we walk past JD's Peloton over there. Pretty nice looking piece of equipment, I have to say. It's got the helmets and the shoes, and it looks pretty inspiring. I'm going to have to get on board the Peloton train, I think.
Helmets? What are you talking about?
It's a bike.
It's what?
There's no helmets.
I thought I saw a helmet over there.
Okay.
I wore a helmet
Maybe that's
for
what I'm thinking
comedy
of.
reasons when I did a payoff. But
And yesterday here in Atlanta, I really could have used it.
You're taking safety to another level. I'm wearing a helmet on a station every day.
Yeah, you should always wear a helmet on your bike, kid, even if you're indoors. Because I've seen you get into it. You're getting into it like that. What
That's
happens if
true.
you slip and you fell? I don't know. But yesterday in Atlanta here, it was wet. I would have loved a Peloton in the garage because I couldn't get out for any exercise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
it was gross day yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm really more intrigued learning that Peloton is stepping into the ring with its newest discipline, boxing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested to know about that because even if you've never boxed before, these classes will have you working up a sweat while working on the fundamentals of your form, footwork,
Nice job.
and fun combos.
Nice.
Duck and weave, duck and weave. That's the key. That's the key. You can't knock Mike Tyson out if you can't hit him.
Ooh.
Duck and weave, duck and weave. Right. And by the way, Skeets, I heard you rocking out to Bonnie Tyler last week.
You did?
Yeah, remember you were singing Total Eclipse of the Heart?
I probably was.
Yeah. Well, like, you said you didn't know why you were singing it, but is it possible you were doing a Peloton workout just before the show that day and you took advantage of the new Art of Series music selections? Is it possible that was like earwormed?
It is absolutely possible.
Yeah. I mean, I can see you there. Like, because when we're at home, we've all got a few songs that we're like, there's no way I want anyone to know that I love that song. And maybe
I wouldn't care if you knew I loved
Well,
it.
I'm just
but-
saying, yeah, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That's not a bad song.
But I do get songs. I come into the Classic
Yeah.
Factory often, and I will hum a song, and I'm like, "Why am I
Yeah.
singing this?" But it must have been the Peloton class that I definitely.
I mean,
did.
there's over 100 to choose from, covering every genre of music. So there's something for everybody.
Hey, I do love music.
Oh, great. Peloton has a workout for every goal, day, and mood.
Yeah.
De-stress from a long day with 30 minutes of strength and 20 minutes of cardio, or do a quick 15-minute total body class workout. Stay motivated while having fun with bike workouts, yoga, meditation, dance, cardio, and more. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com.
If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, or a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you've got to check out Athletic Greens. I'm sure you'll all agree that most of us are not huge fans of having to take a bunch of pills or vitamins in the morning. Am I right, Tess?
I gotta agree with you, Trey.
You got a small throat.
I've got a small throat.
Tiniest throat I
This
know.
guy's got a
Anatomically tiny throat.
For a man his size, it's shocking.
It's wild.
I'm surprised you have such a deep baritone voice with a throat that small. But it's not just you, man.
Yeah. Actually, people with tiny throats have deep voices.
Oh,
No, I don't.
it sounds legit.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, don't feel bad.
I don't.
You might have a small throat. I've got a very dry mouth.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to take pills as well. I gotta like, suck up a bunch of saliva so your whole mouth is full.
Wow.
Learned that from my
Try
buddy.
water next time.
Oh, what?
Yes. You can take pills with water.
Sorry, I do it all natural.
Oh, that's smart.
30 cc's of saliva. But with Athletic Greens, you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You do need the water.
Yes.
Do not need the saliva, do need the water. Athletic Greens is an all-in-one solution that actually tastes good, and you'll really enjoy getting your daily vitamins much better than a mouthful of spit. With one scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and of course adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy system, recovery system, focus system, and of course your aging system. All the best systems with this single scoop of Athletic Greens in water. That's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, or gluten free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, but contains no GMOs, nasty chemicals, or artificial anything. AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system. With convenient daily nutrition, all you need is 1 scoop of Athletic Greens and a cup of H2O water. Every single day, it's that easy. And to make it even easier, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NoDunks. That's athleticgreens.com/NoDunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Back with NoDunks here in the Classic Factory. It's a pick 'em payoff day. That's why I'm rocking this glorious mustache. Some people are wondering, hey, that's not a punishment. Just wait until I take off the mustache and you got to see me back babyface Skeets. It's not that great. But I thought it would be fun to count down the top 10 greatest mustaches in NBA history. A tough task. Very, very difficult. I know I'm going to get some blowback on this list because there's so many omissions. But this is my list, my favorite mustaches. And, because they look glorious, because they're unique, as we make our way through the list, I'll give you my reasonings. But let's just get into it. The top 10 mustaches in NBA history. We'll start at number 10. That makes sense. Artis Gilmore. All right, Hall of Fame center. He experimented with a lot of different facial hair over the years, but he brought that EBA flavor to the then stodgy NBA. And I've seen this sort of described as the elevator going up arrow mustache because he's got the goatee there. It's a mustache goatee combo, very unique. And I also like this man stuck with the stash for a long time. Here he is at his Hall of Fame induction. Nice. And look at Dr. J. Suspect a little bit about this mustache, or mesmerized, I guess, and just loving it. Dr. J actually had a mustache there for
former
a while, too.
stasher.
Spoiler, he's not on my list, but.
It makes a bigger arrow with his tie underneath.
Yeah, it does. It does. Cool. All right, so Artis Gilmore at number 10. At number 9, Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that Homer right now, that's just like yours.
Yeah, it's some similarities.
The Homer mustache call.
I think mine's a little thicker, if we're being honest. But there's Pistol Pete. Great stash on this dude. There I am in the $2. I think he sort of looks like he was in the Beatles too, right?
Yeah.
Like you could see him drinking a tea and eating toast. Yeah. Coming in late. But then I know we have some more photos. Here he is play for the Hawks. Yeah. And it is wild to see him without one.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm going to look like.
Yeah, I was going to say, you actually kind of look like him in that too. So,
Pistol Skeets.
All right, so Pistol Pete, number 9. Okay, number 8. I bet you never heard of this man.
Wasn't he the NBA stats guy? Is that him?
Boo.
Well, is that a bad joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I won't even address it. This is Toby Kimball for everybody listening. And if you are listening to the podcast, you should really come over to the NoDunks YouTube page and watch this. But this guy, 6'6" power forward center, played in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, first off, the dude he looks like Dr. Phil to me. I mean, that's what I see. He didn't have the stash for a long time, so that sort of, knocked him down my list. But I love the bald head stash combo. He holds the distinction, Kimball does, of being one of two guys to play for the Celtics in the 1960s and not win a championship ring.
Wow.
Because the Celtics won the championship every year from 1960 to 1969 with the exception of 1967, and Kimball was on that team. There's one other guy, I think it's Jim Barnett.
It's a real Anderson Varejao situation, wasn't it?
Yeah. He also, just another random Kimball fact here, he came off the bench for Milwaukee in the January 72 game that ended LA's record 33-game win streak. So anyway, Dr. Phil there, Toby Kimball, look at that. Glorious stash.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, number 7.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Pollard. He had to be on this list just because. And I promise one day we'll do a whole segment on all of Scott Pollard's looks in the NBA. Trey, you know this. He had every hair and facial hair combo imaginable. It's amazing. So he had the great stash, the horseshoe stash there, as we were showing you when he was with the Kings, and just a reason to show you this crazy braided goatee. But I'm not kidding you. I went through Getty Images yesterday for Scott Pollard. Every look you could think of, this guy tried at one point in a game. It's insane.
He had like the Ja Morant ponytail on top of the head at one point even, I think.
We will do a whole 15 minutes on Scott Pollard at one point, and former Survivor contestant too, helped him get on this list. Number 6, let's go to John Lucas. I just think this is just a sexy ass mustache on this guy. A Magnum PI type of mustache, thick, masculine, just hardy. He was committed to the stash as well. He always had this. I believe, still has this in his coaching days.
I think you're right,
for sure. And even when the hair started to go on the top of his head, the stash stayed glorious. So, I know you might say that's a simple stash, but I think there's something beautiful about it, Lee.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you don't have to have an elaborate stash to have a cool stash.
That's right.
It's really, it changed from the first picture to the third picture. Like I say, it changed. I think it grew in more.
Yeah, I think so too. The hair, when his hair started to go off the top of his head, it started to
move down.
Yeah, the power started to come in the stash.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that the men's development of their mustaches changes over the course of their life. But the first one was like 2 little baby carrots, and now it's a full.
Well, you're talking about baby carrots. Adam Morrison coming in here at number 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a garbage stash, but it's a memorable stash.
I remember my first stash.
So don't move too quickly here. Like, you can count the hairs. Like, we can count them. I think there's like 87 hairs. ESPN article from 2006. It was titled, "For Morrison, Mustache Battling Skills for Spotlight." This was like a big story. He was the nation's leading scorer when he was out at Gonzaga. But he certainly isn't scoring points with many with his mustache, was like what they were writing about. His nickname on Basketball Reference, The Stash, drafted 3rd overall by the Bobcats. And then you can keep going, JD, like here's another look here when he's playing. It started to come in a little bit more maybe, but fans loved it in Charlotte. Okay, you had men impersonating him, you had women impersonating him, and I love this photo so much, even kids impersonating Adam Morrison and that wispy stash.
Oh, the shot of him in the foreground, blurry, is very funny on this one.
So, okay, I know it's not a great stash, but again, a memorable stash. This one at number 4, James Edwards.
Buddha.
The Fu Manchu mustache. Inspired the nickname, like you said there, Lee, Buddha. And it's just great. It's just a solid stash. He ran with it for a long time. The 89-90 Pistons, Lee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stashes on this team. I mean, a lot of teams in the 80s were rocking it. I know the Lakers had a ton too, but you see a couple classics there. Anyone catches your eye? Any stashes catching your eye?
Is that Gerald Henderson right on the end there next to Vinnie Johnson? Number 12.
Yeah,
looks like
I think it is. And Mark Aguirre there, and Joe's got one.
The trainer there has been there forever. He might even still be there in Detroit, right on the other end, just in front of Isaiah.
Yeah. So lots of stashes on those championship Pistons teams. But James Edwards, Buddha, coming in there. And then does his son, James Edwards III, does he have a mustache? I think he's got more facial hair.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a stash like that.
Yeah, sure. James Edwards III at the Athletic. Okay, number 3, Steven Adams. There will be blood. He's gonna drink your milkshake.
Yeah.
I had to put him on here. Now, He's had a lot of different looks as well, but he was called the Stache Bros when he was with Enes Kanter on the Thunder in 2016. This was a thing they were running with, JD. It was Kanter and Adams. There they are. In this photo, Adams got more of the beard coming in there, but I liked when he just had that twirly sort of
Hercule Poirot. Agatha Christie's Poirot. He
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Christie's Poirot, of course.
Yeah.
And again, here's a look at what I'm going to sort of look like tomorrow when the mustache is gone. That's Steven Adams, young Adams.
Young Steve.
Yeah, not as grizzly Adams.
What's up with the tooth? Does he have
he's got I think he's got like a gold tooth or
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
a replacement.
yeah, replacement tooth. I mean, he's taken some elbows in his time.
Right.
So yeah, he's at number 3. Number 2, the blonde bristler, Larry Bird. Look at this guy. This guy was one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Look at this piece of, it's crazy. It's crazy. The wispy farm boy mustache. Fanside wrote, they did an article on their top 10 greatest mustaches. I got some inspiration from it. They wrote how Larry's stash, though, provided some much needed balance to his face.
Right.
And I actually think that's right. Like, I don't have a photo, I forgot to include one, but if you see pics with Bird without it, he looks better with a stash.
100%.
Yeah.
He looks photoshopped when you see him without a mustache.
And I
You're
think he's
there's
got
supposed to be a stash there.
He's got the big nose, he's got the beak, right? And it balances it out. And Fanside again pointed this out. And I agree. It's a good balance, even if it's a weird. You don't see a blonde mustache much often too.
What is this photo?
I know. Hey, get in, kids.
V-neck sweater. Shout out to Terre Haute, Indiana.
Yeah, what a pick. Again, that is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Also, cool hat bend on this one. Look at it. It's like 2 angles to the side rather than like an actual curve. What a look. Top 10 all-time player right there.
Yep, it's amazing. Number 1, my favorite mustache in NBA history, Kevin Ollie.
Wow.
Yeah, simple stash, but so distinctive. I have, a proposition for everybody watching and listening. I dare you to try and find a photo of Kevin Ollie without a mustache. Go nuts. You'll never find it. Okay, Kevin Ollie played for 11 teams in 13 years. Aside from a short stint in Philadelphia, he never started consecutive seasons in the same place.
Wow.
He went from Dallas to Orlando to Sacramento, back to Orlando, from Philly to New Jersey, back to Philly, then Chicago, Indiana, Milwaukee, Seattle, Cleveland, and Philly again, finally Minnesota and OKC. The one constant? That Kevin Ollie mustache. Never left his lip, never left his side. And there he is coaching, winning a championship, right, with UConn. So it's a tiny, simple mustache, but it's... honestly, when I think of NBA mustache, I think of Kevin Ollie.
Yeah.
You said it right away.
You can't find a photo of this guy without one.
I think, though, there's recency bias with Kevin Ollie.
Why?
And not because he's been in the NBA any recently, but I think he's had the most recent mustache in the NBA. Like, when we were watching basketball the last 20 years, let's say, who else has a mustache?
Well,
really? I mean, Scott Pollard.
Bonus photo here. He didn't make my list, but Frank Jackson, current NBA player. Now he took it off. Yeah, he doesn't have it anymore.
That's too bad.
I know, because I think it's a good look on him.
You could easily slip him into that picture of the 1990 Detroit Pistons.
Totally.
He looks like such a 1990s, 80s, 90s guy.
Okay, honorable stashes, aka what about this stash? You can come back to us, JD. So many. I know there's going to be a lot of uproar. Where's Kurt Rambis?
Yeah.
Now, I will say with Kurt Rambis, if he didn't have the glasses, I don't think you'd be as in love with the mustache. Because once you put the glasses on Kurt with the stash, it looked like the costume, like the Groucho Marx costume. Like they went hand in hand. I get it. Reggie Theus.
Yeah.
Great stash. Connie Hawkins. Glorious. Kevin Love. There were a lot of votes for him. But I don't really remember him committing to it in an NBA, like, for an NBA season, no doubt. Like, he didn't do that. He did what
joke
I'm doing.
stash.
It was a joke stash, yeah. Sven Nader.
Yeah.
Armin Gilliam, the Hammer. Eddie Jones.
Yeah, Eddie Jones was...
Nice sort of Kevin Ollie, clean mustache. Brian Winters.
Oh, yeah, really good.
Good
really
stash.
good. Great basketball reference picture.
Yeah, Kevin Willis, Kelly Tripucka, David Robinson, the Admiral, Dr. J, I mentioned him, Bubble Gordon Hayward. Remember that? But he had a lot of stubble still, he had a stash. Spencer Dinwiddie, we talked about him earlier. And then you got a bunch of coaches: Phil Jackson, Mike D'Antoni, Mike Woodson. Remember when he took off his eyebrows and he only had the stash? Stan Van Gundy, Jerry Buss, Commissioner Stern rocked the stash. So there you go. Any others that come to mind?
No, you've pretty much covered them all. I mean, Eddie Jones.
I spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah,
Eddie Jones. Respect.
Yeah.
Loved Eddie Jones.
I loved Eddie Jones too, and I thought the stash he just he brought it to his style, his flavor. I thought it suited him really well.
Yeah, it was tough not to make this list a bunch of goofy white guys, if I'm being completely honest. 'Cause, there's a lot of just bushy, weird, ugly-looking stashes.
Mike
So I tried to
Jaminski.
sprinkle.
Saw that was a suggested.
Good one.
Ugly one.
Super,
Dumpy fella.
super ugly. So there it is. Let's hear from everybody out there listening or watching. Who did I forget? Let us know in the YouTube comments. Tweet at us at NoDunks Inc. Your favorite mustache in NBA history. Anyone else come to mind?
D'Antoni is definitely an iconic one.
For sure.
Because he never dropped it.
Well, he
No, he
did.
did.
Yeah, remember
He did.
you guys asked him. Someone
I
asked
did.
him.
Yeah. I forget what he said.
He said he wanted to look younger.
Yeah, he said he wanted to look younger. I
Yeah.
think his wife convinced him to
Yeah.
eventually shave his mustache because he definitely has it in like that famous wedding picture where he's wearing like basketball shorts and shoes. He's got a nice stash going in. I mean that's a go-to move once you get a little bit later in life. Shave off that mustache and instantly you look one day younger.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to stick it to Pringles because they never gave him a sponsorship. So he shaved it and he said, screw you guys. You're getting all this press. Give me some cash.
Yes, he did look like the Pringles guy. All right, so let's hear from you. Before we wrap this up and take our final break, I think we've now, me doing the mustache here for my pick and payoff, have like completed the NoDunks set for guys with mustaches.
Right.
I'm the last one to do it. Like, right? I think so. JD, I know you have the photos. Like, well, you definitely did it for sure. I forget why you were doing the
It was
Merv
Movember.
Hughes. Oh, it was November.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes
we
sense.
raised $10,000 for November, which is great.
It's one of the most valuable mustaches
look
of
at
all time.
that. I love the close up of you.
I think we can get a little tighter.
Enhance.
The chopper read, that was actually a lot of fun to do it just for that month. Get it out there bushy. I remember we tried it the next year with Todd and Rick, and combined they couldn't even grow a moustache. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
So you had this mustache when we were doing promo shoots.
Yeah. Well, there's one here on the wall at the for the Robin Hood thing as well. Because I remember we just said it spontaneously on a drop one day. Matt was like, "Do it," and I said, "All right." And then it was like a week later. I said, "Oh, by the way, we've got our yearly photo shoot." And Matt was like, "Oh, wow." And I was like, you know what? Who cares? And actually, I think it actually suits this one.
Oh, it looks great on the Robin
Yeah,
Hood,
it's
the
awesome.
sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done it. Trey, remind me why we had you shaving on the show.
I think Kyle O'Quinn, then of the Magic, then of a bushy beard, like shaved his beard for charity, so we did the same. Like season 1, I think, of the starters.
Oh my God! Look at this curvy photo.
That does not look like you at all.
That's like one of the last times anyone's seen my chin.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it looks like under there now.
So you started growing the beard.
Well, I grew my beard back, obviously, just to like a short length.
Right.
And then never shaved it again. And then, probably the year after that is when I started growing a big long beard.
You look like such like
Just a dad.
a dad. Or I was gonna say like a principal, coach even, or something like that. Okay. Now, Tass, on the show, I guess you haven't rocked, like the full-on stash, like just in terms of a daily show.
I did way back, but this was right when we were getting into video, we did a draft
That's
show where I
true.
was a draft analyst. I didn't pull it because quality just quite poor.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell if I have a stash.
So what's going on in this photo that we're seeing here? Is this a bachelor party or Halloween
just
costume?
summer.
Or just summer? Wow.
Yeah, just summer, feeling cool, feeling comfortable.
Looking cool, looking comfortable.
Ordering 2 of something.
This guy loves
Class.
sports.
The Sports
Yeah.
Select. Nothing gets more Ontario convenience store than that. Lotto 649 and Sports Select. Win, gagnon.
And JD.
Yeah, I've always been anti-mustache. I could not find a single picture of me. In fact, I've had all sorts of different
Wow.
iterations of facial hair, but it's always been without a mustache. So here I just jumped off the back of Larry Bird's truck there.
Yeah.
And so I got the soul patch and the weird, this is circa 2000 maybe 1999. And even like everything but a mustache. Like this weird sort of goatee, but still like the opposite of a mustache. So
Wait, what did you get first place in the motorcycle?
it's a horse's ass something.
It's like the horse is missing its top, and your facial hair is also missing the top.
That's exactly right.
Let's go back to the
That's
first
great.
picture there for a sec, JD, because you say you couldn't find any photos of you with a moustache. You just had to find the sexiest one from your younger day.
They're all sexy. They're all-
You've never had just
That's the least sexy one, actually.
no, I've never had a mustache. Never.
Wow. That's amazing. And like, just of course, looking at you from here, you have the huge bushy beard. You could have a killer
do it,
mustache.
yeah.
Yeah, you could do the twirls and everything.
Yeah,
You could go all the way down, like off the
Yeah.
face. Hope you don't lose a pick and payoff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, there it is. Somehow we just did a full segment on mustaches. Yes. Yeah, gotta stretch it sometimes. We're gonna take one more break. When we come back, though, picking results from last night and tweet of the night. So don't go anywhere.
If you dream of comfortable sheets at a price that won't keep you up at night, look no further than Bowl and Branch. Turns out the sheets I had before were garbage. Trash. I feel like such a fool sleeping on scratchy, hot, substandard sheets when I could have been sleeping on Bowl and Branch sheets this whole time. Bowl and Branch makes the softest organic sheets on the market. They get better with every wash. And Skeets, you mentioned that yesterday, and I immediately stripped my bed and threw them in the wash to get them even softer, but then I forgot about them and I had to go back to the substandard sheets last night. Terrible sleep. Oh my God. There's no going back, guys. There's no going back. And comfort isn't their only standard. They only use 100% sustainable raw materials. It's the first fair trade certified manufacturer of linen, so you can feel as good about your Bowl and Branch sheets as they feel against your skin. They sent us the signature hemmed sheets, which are great. I got the Shore for my color. I like white sheets on my bed, nice and crisp, but these were freebies, so I thought I'd take a little risk.
Yeah.
They look great.
Good.
It's called Shore is the color. It's sort of a grayish blue.
Yeah, I
like
wish
the
we went with
seashore.
those.
Really?
I
you
mean,
sure?
Nora does.
Well, are you sure? Good one, Lee. I'm not even
have-
on my camera, guys.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
Say something.
Well, you were mid read.
I thought
It sounded good. It was sounding good.
Like everybody's looking at you and listening to me.
Sometimes it could be a bit too. I'm like, just let it play out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I knew it
yeah.
wasn't a bit.
But you just wanted our genuine
wanna
reactions to your sheet color.
That's right. I was waiting for your reaction to my scintillating read over there. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, I sleep hot and cold. That's right. Both. Can you believe it? And these sheets are not too hot and not too cool, so it's perfect for year-round. And that's perfect for most sleepers. Bowl and Branch focuses on quality over quantity. No inflated thread counts here, because more isn't always better. I was surprised by that because every time I buy sheets, I'm like, I got highest thread count possible. But that's apparently not the way to go. So Bowl and Branch, I'm learning. My only regret with these sheets is that I wish that I attended more toga parties, because these sheets would be perfect for that. Ever been to a toga party, guys?
I haven't. No.
Oh.
It's weird when you think about it. You just see it in movies all the time.
I know.
Never went to one.
They're wild. They're crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Anyway.
I was at a toga / foam party. You're supposed to wear a toga to a foam party.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's too
It
much.
was but it's more foam.
a-
It's like you can't show off the toga.
That's
It's all
Also,
foam.
I don't want to get my sheet that I'm wearing as my toga wet.
They get better the more you wash them.
That's true.
It'd be heavy.
All right, experience the best sheets you've ever felt at bowlandbranch.com. Get 15% off your first set of sheets when you use promo code NoDunks at checkout. That's Bowl and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code NoDunks.
Here's a question: how do you take your coffee?
Crisp.
Maybe a full-bodied roast, something light. We all have our preferences. And no matter what you love to drink, Trade Coffee makes it easy to brew your best cup at home. Trade sells the freshest roasted and ethically sourced beans from America's best independent roasters. They ship free to you as often as you like, whole or ground. How you like them beans? Whether you're a coffee nerd, like our friend Jay, or Thody, or Zach, that group you were in.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
talking
still
about
in it.
those coffee nerds. You're still
Yeah.
in the nerd group.
Yeah.
All right. Or
It's dormant, but I'm in it.
oh, okay. Or maybe you just want a better daily cup. Trade's real coffee experts taste test over 400 roasts and use technology to match you to your ideal coffee based on your preferences and brewing method. So this is the fun part here. You take this coffee quiz to get started, and then Trade Coffee guarantees you'll love your first bag, or they'll just replace it for free. That's a lot of confidence in this quiz. It's like
Confidence, baby.
like
Confidence.
we've got this quiz down so perfectly on how you answer it. You're gonna get that bag of beans and you're gonna love it. Or we'll just replace it for free. That's pretty awesome. And for our listeners right now, Trade Coffee is offering a total of $20 off your first 3 bags when you go to drinktrade.com/NoDunks. So get started. Go take that quiz at drinktrade.com/NoDunks.
Sure.
Start your journey to the perfect cup. That's drinktrade.com/NoDunks for $20 off your first 3 bags. All right, back with the boys here. Before we get to tweet of the night, a very funny tweet from @JestersNFT, wondering maybe that Pistol Pete photo we had up earlier, maybe it is Pistol Skeets doing a very, if I'm being honest, creepy Photoshop of my eyes on Pistol Pete's face. I mean, this is next
This is
level.
too good.
I know.
honestly, to happen this quickly.
I looked at it at first and said, well, I just thought he crossed out Pete and put Skeets. And then I'm like, hold on, that's me. A part of me, at least.
Skeets eyes.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Similarities, I guess, to when Pistol Pete had the mustache. What do you think there, Lee?
Yeah, that's a great Photoshop to knock that out so quickly. Did you plant this one?
No. No. This is @JestersNFT. So thanks for sending that in.
We got to see you with some bangs.
Next payoff.
Somebody's got to do bangs. That'd be funny.
Let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Yes, I am the tweetman. 2 tweets of the night for you. 2 huge tweets going around on Twitter last night. So pretty easy. The first one is semi-basketball related. Comes from Danny Valencia. Mike Trout, the best player in the show, which is what they call Major League Baseball, has 1.9 million followers on Instagram playing in Los Angeles. Tyler Herro, good player for the Heat, nowhere near Mike Trout good, has 2.3 million followers. Why exactly? Why you think, Lee?
It's a good question. I never thought about it. Mike Trout, all-star. He can send them to the cheap seats. But
Yellow baseball.
I guess, I don't know. I don't really know because baseball has an international appeal. Not as big as basketball. I just don't know the answer.
No one knows, but I think it comes down to Mike Trout's Instagram being super boring. I don't know if anybody looked at it after this tweet came out, but it's very boring. Meanwhile, Tyler Herro is him like getting fits off in exotic locations.
Right.
So step your game up, Mike Trout, your Instagram game. He is better at baseball than Tyler Herro is at basketball.
Sure.
It seems to be. Joel is always saying this guy, he's the greatest ever.
Could be the best ever.
Check his WAR.
Not on IG.
Don't check his IG, check his WAR. You know what else is cool though? Larry Bird, one of the all-time great basketball players. Mike Trout, one of the all-time great baseball players. Lynn Swan, one of the all-time great football players. There's got to be one good animal player in every sport.
Yeah.
In hockey, it's
Hockey.
Paul Coffey.
Oh, close enough.
Sorry, man. I don't know that. I only know Zarlia Zalapsky is the only funny name.
That's
I
a
know.
great
There's got to be a good.
Yeah, I got Paul Bird on the brain, but that's baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah. Hockey. Animal.
Yeah, that's tough.
We need a
Let's
hockey
go,
animal.
Stream Team. You need to help us out on this
Hockey
one.
animal.
I keep thinking of like Brett Hull, but Hull is not.
Goal. Brett C. Hole.
Brett Seal. Yeah, that works.
I also like Kelly Dwyer's response to this. Because a basketball is way bigger than a baseball.
You also said, I saw you respond with somebody, I guess, like, is Mike Trout a cool name?
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
cool, man. It's a fish. It's just like Larry Bird. Like, that's a
like
cool
fishing.
name. Yeah, I like fishing.
Yeah.
Nike came out with like his first signature shoe, like looked like a trout. I thought that was cool. I guess I just like Trout.
You
You
got to
know?
lean into it, though, don't you? Really, if you're Trout, like,
You
let's
should.
make Trout shoes. You know,
Maybe that's the problem.
So what's going on with baseball? Is it done?
It's over.
Yeah?
It's completely over. No, they canceled the first 2 series, so we're looking at like 156 games.
Jeez.
156 games for
Maybe.
Mike and the rest
Maybe.
of the fish out
Nothing.
there.
They obviously haven't come to an agreement yet.
No.
Owners lockout. Okay.
Still negotiating.
Yeah.
Real quick, regarding Trouts. I Googled Slovenian food
Okay.
when you mentioned it about an hour ago.
Nice callback.
Trout up there. It's up. It's in the top 5 foods for Slovenian food. So dumplings too, but trout made me think of it. Anyways,
Does Luka follow Mike Trout on Instagram?
No. He follows Tim Salmon and Brandon Bass. I'm looking for a hockey player, but all I can think of is
nothing in the
none.
stream team either.
I'll find
Oh, come on.
So like
Gotta
a
be hockey animal.
like a Pete Beaver,
hockey player.
like right wing
Don't
for the
remember him.
Canucks.
I thought
Fired
of
up.
one. The Moose. Mark Messier.
Mark Messier? Nickname? I mean, I got Mike Loon. I want to say Loon, but it's Mike Lou.
Oh, the cat. Felix Potvin.
This is good. Keep going. You're out.
Steve, the Charmer, the Larmer. Steve Larmer. He's a real snake charmer.
Is that it for Tweet of the Night? Are we done?
No. I was just waiting.
come
I
on.
thought I was going to stretch this as long as we could until we came up with a
Yeah.
real hockey player named after an animal who also happens to be one of the all-time greats. It's
When
tough.
you get one, I'm going to tip my Sergei Fedorov to you as soon as you get it. When will it happen? I can't believe it.
Yeah, I
can't believe
I
it.
can't find anything.
Pull one out of your Darren Poopa.
I'm trying to get
Straight up Theo Fleury of hockey puns coming down right now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man.
Well, it's all right, Skeets.
find
Don't worry.
That's hard.
I know, you're looking at every hockey player.
I really,
It's going to be tough.
Every hockey player.
But the way that we're not able to figure this out is actually a nice segue to our second tweet of the night, which
Yep.
was the biggest thing on Twitter last night. Bit of a mishap on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Take a look.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your hat.
650.
G.
No G.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Question mark?
Another feather in your lap.
900.
D.
No. Laura, you have another opportunity.
Oh, nice dash.
You can try to solve the puzzle. What do you want to do? Go ahead and spin if you don't know.
I'm
it.
going to go ahead and
Yeah,
spin.
She's got something that you put your hand in. Wow.
Well, what letter would you like?
A P.
Yes, there's a P.
Sure. Here we go.
Spin or solve.
I will solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your map.
So what letter would you like?
A C.
There's a C up there. You want to solve this?
I'll solve. Another feather in your cap.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you said on your cap so much.
Wow.
That was a good one.
They say it's different when you're out there on the stage.
Bright lights.
Yeah, that's right.
Pat Sajak staring you down, wanting to laugh at you. Pat Sajak, man. How did he keep it in? How does he not? Like, Alex
just like,
Trebek,
how do you
Alex
do
Trebek, if you
stupid
missed
idiot?
it,
Yeah.
if you missed it on Jeopardy, Alex Trebek was like, you idiot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Pat Sajak just has to be like, next. But I do like to see that a guy with a mustache came through in the clutch there at the end, finally. I saw there was some more problems in or whatever. What's it called? The last one? Final spins?
I think it's just final round.
Final round. Whatever happened, they had their letters up there, and the guy guessed barking hot dogs.
Just a joke guess.
It was like barking watchdogs, I think was the thing, but he just said barking hot dogs like 100 times. So there are your tweets of the night. They were big on Twitter last night. One of them had to do with basketball, and one of them had to do with laughing. So good stuff.
Another feather in your cap. Is that an old timey thing? Like, I mean, we know it, but do people say it now? Like, has Laura never heard? She's never heard it, obviously. You just
she
said barking.
guessed hat, though. Her first guess was hat. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, cap is a hat.
Another feather in your map doesn't make any sense.
Or your lap. I mean, or in your lap.
Yeah, I guess that makes a little bit more sense than map.
I did see somebody responded to it. I mean, there was a myriad videos of this last night. Somebody responded to one of them. It was an old man sitting on a couch with a hat or a cap, I suppose, that had 2 feathers in it, sitting on his lap while he was reading a map. I was like, respect.
I can't find anything here for this this animal
Doesn't
hockey
exist.
player. Best I can give you is Dave Tiger Williams. Again, it's another nickname.
Yeah.
I know.
I got Mike Gartner Snake, but that's not real.
I mean, I'm looking at lists of like names for your dog inspired by the NHL. like Hoser and Sniper and Zamboni, Mitts, Stripes, Grapes, Clapper, Goon, Mucker, Timu.
This is the
Salami. Yeah.
That's not salami, you know that,
No,
right?
it's salami. Yeah, well, if we're just going to start like getting close.
Oh,
then
we're just
why
gonna
not?
start saying things, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, Bobby.
JD, how much did you cut out of that Wheel of Fortune clip? Because you cut out the little breaks because it was like a 2-minute clip. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a real cliffhanger while you're watching it.
Well, there's some spins. There's one guy loses his turn and then he goes bankrupt. So
Yeah.
I got rid of that.
Look at that, the smiley guy on the right.
Yeah, he was taking it tough.
So, he still smiled through it though. Bankrupt, no problem.
You got
I'm
it.
smiling.
You just paste on that grin. You have to. Like, you just have to.
All right, let's
Hold up. The stream team is coming through.
Oh, we got one.
Don't know if he's any good. There's a current NHL player named Ethan Bear.
All right.
There he is.
If that's his real name, then that's one of them.
Ethan Bear of the Edmonton Oilers.
An Indigenous Canadian professional hockey player.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
There he is.
All right, let's get our buddy Stefan on the line.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a big Oilers fan. The only one I know. All right, pick 'em results from last night. Oh my God, it was the Mavericks-Lakers game. Dallas was favored by 5.5, and they were crushing the Lakers. Now Lakers did come back and took the lead as we talked about, but Dallas wins, but not by enough. So Tass somehow escapes with a victory here and takes the lead on everybody. You're up 1 game on all of us because we all had the Mavs besides you. And
Why is LeBron
got
driving and not shooting a 3 on that last possession? You know?
yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it? You can fall down in a conspiracy rabbit hole with these, I'll tell you. But what's tonight's game?
8 games on the schedule. A monster in Milwaukee. Miami going to visit Milwaukee, and Milwaukee favored by a hefty margin. Because, yes, of course, they're the champs, but a 4.5-point spread against this hot Heat team. That's why 2 of you, Skeets and Lee, taking those Heat. You getting 4 points. Lose by 4 or win. That's a decent bet, but Trey and I feel like the Bucks will beat this Heat team. Now, I think this is the 4th time they're playing already. That's why I went with the Bucks, because Miami's won 2 of 3, I believe. So I think the Bucks will get their revenge from a loss.
This was a tough one
Yeah.
when this one came through the Slack channel. So I was like, ooh, I don't know. I thought the 4.5 line was interesting,
Yeah,
too.
it's
I was like,
big.
what do they know? What do they know? But anyway, okay, we're split on this one. Heat and Bucks. Yeah, that should be a very entertaining game. All right, that's it for us, though, today. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, live here on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the show with your friends. Also, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen to NoDunks podcasts. Send in your questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Get yourself an athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks so they know that we sent you a $1 a month deal right now for new subscribers. So go take advantage of that. And go to nodunks.com. Get your NoDunks merch. We asked people on our Twitter account yesterday, what other items do you want to see in the NoDunks store? You know, we got hoodies and we got shirts, some shorts even, and we got the mug, but what else do you want to see? Anything come to mind? What do you-
Slippers.
Slippers?
Yeah.
Interesting. No dunk slippers. All right, well, talk to Breaking Tea about it. Yeah, but yeah, let us know. You know, you want stickers, you want tote bags, whatever you want. Let us know and we'll try and figure it out. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, a great deal going on in The Athletic. $1 a month for the next 6 months.
Wow.
That's pretty good. The starters, wow. Theathletic.com/NoDunks. I guess I was looking at you in your stash. It brought me back to old-timey days. There you go.
See you later, Stache, man. Thanks today, people.